my housemates either didn't want a cat, or I lived in an apartment block where we weren't allowed to have cats. So all I could think was, what I should do is I can live alone, and then I can get a cat. And then I thought, the only way that moment could be more depressing is if I'd been contemplating suicide. I bet at least I have cat haters in to enjoy that one. I don't know, I'm a giant comic book nerd, but recently I've gone off the X-Men. I don't know if you know this, but the X-Men started as an allegory for the civil rights movement. That's not why I'm against them. But I just think it was a bad allegory, because the X-Men, the idea was these people are different and we should accept them despite the fact that they're different. And it started about the civil rights movement. And around the 80s, it switched to the gay rights movement, because they started writing about mutants being like, it's something you're born with, but you don't really notice it until you're a teenager, which applies more to homosexuality, because you don't hit 13 and start having confusing black thoughts. But again, I don't think that really works as an allegory, because gay people just are attracted to people who are the same gender as them, whereas Cyclops of the X-Men fires concussive beams of hot death from his face just all the time. And those two things aren't really comparable at all. Like, I know we're all supposed to be God's creatures and we should accept everyone, but I just think when it comes to the X-Men, we should just chop off their heads and send them back to a God that doesn't love us anymore. Yeah, I thought that was a bit too dark for an X-Men story. I'm just saying that maybe in the world of the X-Men, the racists had it right. But only in the world of the X-Men, because in the real world, racism is obviously bad. There's a lot of bad racism. I don't feel like I'm making a shocking point here. I think if anyone stands up and is just like, no, you will become the enemy tonight. But yeah, like I don't know if you heard, like recently there was an unarmed black teenager shot dead in America, and it's kind of hard to keep up with those at this stage. Really? We're hanging on that. I know it's getting dark, but we're going to move on, don't worry. But yeah, the worst part of it all was the police chief's, his reasoning was, how many times was he shot? I don't know exactly how many times he was shot, but it was more than a couple, but not much more than that. Which is a pretty terrible excuse as far as excuses go. Like, I'm no expert in covering up the racially motivated murder of black teenagers, but I do know a thing or two about lying. And if you're going to try and stay vague, the point is to make yourself look better, not much, much, much worse. I think America in general has a bit of a problem with racism. But they're trying to improve. 2 years ago, Mississippi ratified the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, outlawing slavery. Which, I know, really that's not shocking at all. Fair enough. You guys are just like, moving to Mississippi, gonna own myself a person. But the idea was that they outlawed it publicly, thinking this would save face, rather than drawing attention to the fact that for the past 100 years, it's just been okay to own people. But their excuses were the best part, because they were like, thought we sorted that one out, thought we sent off the paperwork for that. Oh, to be fair, they have been super busy since the help left. So I recently had to quit both Netflix and online dating for much the same reason. Winning you and losing you. I don't know what you like. Love Netflix, hate cats. But the problem with online dating, I'd go on and they'd ask me these questions to match you up with people. And it matched me with this girl, and her questions were, would you strongly prefer to date someone who's the same race as you? And she said yes, which was a bit of a red flag. And then the next question was, how important is God in your life? And she said very, which was a big red flag. So I was going through this going, why in God's name would this site think that this person is a match for me. Oh, she likes cats. Fair enough. And then with Netflix, it was kind of the same thing. Every time I tried to understand me, I just felt it was getting offensive. Like, I watched Chappelle's show, and after that, Netflix just decided, I like black guys. I just a list of black guys. No context, just black guys. But the final straw came with Netflix when I watched a movie called Mysterious Skin, where Joseph Gordon-Levitt plays Rent Boy. And after I watched that, Netflix decided to only recommend movies to me from their gay and lesbian section. And I don't just mean movies about gay people, I mean gay movies. I mean the kind of movies where the box art is a dude shirtless, wearing just jeans, standing like this, so you can see no pubes, no pubes. So I just felt like I was back in school, like being made fun of because I'd read Oscar Wilde and listen to the Smiths and get called a fag every day. But the joke's on Netflix, because now I know I'm not a fag, and I have proof. I've had sex with women. More than a couple, but not many more than that. Thank you, I'm Liam Harris.